Well, it is Friday. Man, I love weekends. I love them. I travel a bunch on Saturdays, but I love it when I get to my destination because when I get there, I get to see a bunch of people I love and I get to talk about the one who changed my life. And here on the Daily Drive, we are walking through a book of the Bible trying to get to know that one, Jesus, a little bit better. We've been in John chapter 4 all week long because the story is just too impactful to fly through in a hurry. It's the story of an encounter Jesus has with a woman in a place called Sychar in the region of Samaria. Now, if you missed any episode this week, you can go back and catch some of the backstory. But we left off yesterday with this woman running back into town, telling everyone she had been trying to avoid, I think I found the promised Messiah. He is out there sitting by Jacob's well. And tons of people come out of town. They meet Jesus too, and many of them become believers. Jesus not only met this woman with a past right where she was, he not only gave her living water for her soul, Jesus used her and her story to bring hope to a whole bunch of people. You see, not only will Jesus never refuse you, not only does he know your deepest thirst, but you also need to know that Jesus can redeem any life. Now, I know that redeem can sound like such a churchy word, so I just looked it up in the English dictionary and check out the first 4 definitions that pop up. I think it's pretty cool. Redeem, to make something acceptable, to restore reputation, to atone for human sin, to buy something back. Jesus can redeem any life. He went to a cross to atone for human sin, to purchase our freedom, and to buy back our wasted years. Through his blood, our reputations are restored, and we have been made into something acceptable. A woman who didn't want to be seen in public at all, now running back into her town, telling everybody what just happened to her. Man, that's redemption. In a town called Sychar, which literally means falsehood, God chooses this woman to declare his truth. That's redemption. People used to huddle up and talk about her as a woman who had 5 previous husbands and currently sleeping with somebody else. Now when people saw her, they would say, you see that woman right there? You ought to hear her story. She's the one. She's the one who led me to Jesus. That's redemption. Psalm 130 verse 7 says this, put your hope in the Lord, for with the Lord is unfailing love, and with him is full redemption. Don't let that escape you. Full redemption, not partial, not just halfway, not 80%, not just enough to make you feel better or a little less guilty. Full redemption. I know some of y'all are really good at finding stuff at like a flea market or a garage sale, or you'll say see a piece of junk on the side of the road and make it into something really, really cool. You got that whole Joanna Gaines gene in you. You love to repurpose things. Well, Jesus is really, really good at that. He's in the business of redeeming and repurposing people like us. He recycles mistakes and pain and failure, all of our junk, and he even uses them for his good purposes. Gang, this woman's story can be your story too. You got to know that Jesus does not refuse anyone. He will meet you right where you are, no matter what. And if you're tired of digging cisterns that can't hold water, if you're tired of going back to the same old broken well over and over again for a temporary fix for the deeper thirst within you, begin to trust today that he knows your deepest thirst, and he is the only one who can fill it. I don't know, you might be thinking about broken vows, broken families, broken promises. If shame, regret, all those wasted years consume your mind, you need to know that Jesus can redeem any life. There's thousands of us who hang here on the podcast that can attest to that. Whatever is in you that is shattered, he wants to buy it back, atone for it, and make you new. He will restore your reputation. He will allow you to live every day in the awareness that in spite of your past, you are accepted by a perfect and holy God. So I want to encourage you today to be courageous enough to come out of hiding and find Jesus there waiting for an encounter with you. He's here right now. Acknowledge what those deep thirsts are in your life and invite him to fill you up, and begin to trust that whatever you bring before him can be redeemed. Hey, next week we're going to have a very special guest, so put a bookmark here in John chapter 4, and we'll pick it up in a few days. Love y'all. Pray for you every day. Have a great weekend.